Hello, this is Chris Passion from cmsUpdate, and today we're going to take a quick review of AcyMailing, the newsletter extension for Joomla. We're going to be looking at the enterprise version, so let's take a look at that right now. To get to AcyMailing, you just go to your components. Make sure this is assuming you already have it installed. And today we're going to be looking, like I said, at the enterprise version, which includes all the features. Here's the dashboard that you can see. When you come to the dashboard, there's easy clickable links over here on this left side to get to most of the common stuff. You'll see a graph here that shows how many users have subscribed to your newsletters. You also have a tab that shows you the most recent subscribed, as well as the most recent statistics on your newsletters that are sent. You can take a look at the users screen. You can see all the users to your site. Each newsletter that you create, or newsletter list that you create, can have a separate color. And when you go into list, you can quickly see who's subscribed to various newsletters. So this person is subscribed to 2 of them. You can also see when they subscribed. You can tell if that's a registered user of your Joomla site based on if they have a user ID. You can easily import your users. You can do that from a text file. You can do it from Joomla users, contact from within Joomla. From an existing database, there's all different kinds of ways to import them. Very easy to do that. You can also export into standard file formats. When you import them, you can control where they go, if they go into certain newsletters or all of them or whatever. For your newsletter list, you can click on this and you can see all the lists that you've created for your system. You can see the name, how many have subscribed, how many have unsubscribed, as well as you can see if that's available. We take a look at a newsletter list, and in addition to the basic information, here's where you can set the color for each one. You can also set a customized welcome email that goes out to the person when they become a member of your list, as well as a custom unsubscribe for it. We're going to skip over a few things and we'll come back to them later. You can create templates for your newsletters that you send out very easily. It comes with a number of them that are okay. And you can see here what a standard template looks like. You have basic information about it. You can create a thumbnail. It's just for you to see. You can have a standard subject that is applied, as well as the from, name and address and reply to. In addition to that, you have the general layout down here, but you can also set the tags and style right here manually for each one. Remember that with your emails that go out, it does not use the style sheet of your website, so you have to actually create a style sheet for the email if you want it to look nice. You also have the ability to create manually. If you're handy with CSS, you can do it right here. Set that up. Then you can use those templates. You can set one of them as default. That's the one that's commonly used. Then otherwise you can just select any one when you create a newsletter. We'll just show you how to do that. When you're creating a newsletter, you just click on New. And you can go ahead and set the subject. We're going to select a template up here because we don't have a default one set yet. So there you set your email subject, whether it's published so people can actually access it from the website. Then you just go in and edit, modify your content right there. You can set here what list it goes out to, as well as adding attachments if needed. And the sender information, usually you do that in the template, but you can also override it here. The other thing you can do in AcyMailing, which makes it very handy, is you have a system called of tags. And those are pieces of information from various other systems. So in this case, if we're pulling it in from Hikashop, you can pull in products. You can pull in, we don't have any products set up for this right now, but you could pull in full categories as well as coupons. The nice thing also is if you have systems like Community Builder. Here, let's go to user. I don't think we have this. We'll use this for example. You can pull in information about the user. So here we have their email address. You can build that right into the newsletter itself. So there it's inserted whoever's getting at their email address. So you can build all that in. What's nice is with things like Community Builder or Jom Social, you can put in information specific about that user. When you're done using the AcyMailing, let's make sure we have a subject line here, test email. And let's go with that. And let's preview it. So we'll take a look at that right now. And that's what it looks like. But the other thing that's handy on this page, you can see here it inserted my email address, is that you can click this spam test function. When you do that, it runs through the mail tester, and it runs that email that you've created through the mail tester. Gives you a cool report on different things, and I'm not sure where we are with our test site, but let's see what it gives us for a rating on this generic little email. We got a 9 out of 10. Let's see what they came back with. Minor thing that we haven't finished doing is SPF. Oh, SPF entry hasn't propagated, so that's a minor thing with the server. But other than that, you can see the different things that it will review on. Checks if you're on blacklist, checks for broken links. So it's a very, very good way to run through and make sure your your email isn't going to be automatically labeled as spam with a bunch of different things. When you're done with that and you've got it all ready, you can click this schedule. It's very handy. It tells you we didn't sign it to an email, so we need to go to an email list. So we need to go back to the editor, and we need to pick a list. So we're going to send it to our newsletter list. So now we'll go back over here, and we're going to schedule it. And all we have to do is pick a date and time, and click schedule, and automatically put on the schedule. Now the one thing you'll note here is that we're running the enterprise version, and what that also means is it has a cron job that can run. So the server is automatically running that, so we can set it any time and it will go out within a few minutes depending on how often your cron job works. You can also send a test to yourself or to anyone else. So now we're going to close out of that. You can see it, there it is, and if we had sent it, it would show here, or if we had scheduled it, it would also send it there. So you can see a queue if anybody's set up to go. The other thing you can build that's very handy is you can build auto newsletters. So if you have regular content on your website and you want to send out a weekly email that sends out a little intro to all the different new articles you've posted in the last week, you can do that. You can build it so that automatically everything is automated, so you don't have to touch AcyMailing to handle that at all. It'll do everything. All you have to do is write your content once it's all set up. Campaigns are another cool feature of AcyMailing, and that's an autoresponder by normal terms. Basically what it means is that you can create a campaign, and it can be a number of emails. It can be just only one, or it can be a multiple of emails. And it's a series, usually it's a series of emails that go out on a time schedule. And it's timed based on when the user subscribes to the email. So based on if users subscribe today, you could say that you have one email that's set to go out immediately, and then one that is set to go out maybe an hour later, and then maybe something that goes out, or another reminder that goes out another day later, and then maybe another week later. But remember, it's based on the front end when the user subscribes. So that's real cool, and it's automated. So user 2 subscribes tomorrow is going to get everything tomorrow, and everything will be delayed a day from what I mentioned. So cool, neat little thing. And you have all the features that you have with the tag, so you can import all the data, information, whether it's a purchase or anything like that. The other thing that you can use, and let's go back over here to the filters on your list. This is one of the most powerful features of AcyMailing. It allows you to set up a system of filters that act upon whatever pieces of data. A good example would be if you want people to get an email based on if they've ever purchased a certain product. Say you're coming up with an upgrade or a new product that's related to something else, and you want to send an email to everybody that bought the old product or the other related product. You can easily do that if they're in HikaShop or any other e-commerce system that has an integration with AcyMailing. You can do that. You just pick it up based on their order, and you set the action of adding them to a list, or you can add just an email out to them, or add them actually to a full campaign system. So what's nice is, say a person purchases a certain product in your e-commerce system, you can then set it up so that they can then get a series of emails that follow up after that. We're going to now take a look at some of the configuration, important part of setting up AcyMailing, and that is if you don't set it up right, you're going to have problems. First of all, when you set up the main server, you'll want to use an SMTP server. Although AcyMailing lets you send out by PHP mail or send mail, that is, especially if you're new to email sending, and if you're not careful about how you do it and how your list is managed, you could get into trouble with blacklisting. So the best way to do is use SMTP server, use double opt-in, which AcyMailing's defaults to that, so that a person has to confirm their email address, so nobody can subscribe somebody else. Also, you can choose what you want to use as an SMTP server. You can use your hosted off your hosting account, or you can use a third party. We recommend a third party. They actually have two specific ones that are set up here, smtp.com and Elastic Email. Very good services. You can use just anything that provides SMTP interface. In this case, we're using the Amazon SES service, which is really good. So you can set all the different things, information here. You can set up how many go out in a certain amount of time. So if your server, SMTP server, has a limit on that, you can do that, both for the automatic and the manual. You can get reports sent to you. You can see the cron job. Ours hasn't fired yet since we've set this up. You can set up notifications for subscriptions, how you can get it. Does the person need to be a registered user? All kinds of different, lots and lots and lots of different settings that go into here. How it looks. Do you use CAPTCHAs? Who can access things on the admin side, setting up all the integration plugins, which there are lots of them, and you can do translation. And one of the cooler things, or the most important things in the end, after you have it all set up and it's running, is the statistics. Unfortunately, we don't have this here, but I can tell you that what you would see in this chart is when the email was sent, the subject line of the email, which makes it easy to find, how many people opened it, as well as a percentage. Of those people, or of the people that it was sent to, how many clicked on a link and how many unsubscribed. The other thing is bounces, and I didn't mention that before. You can actually set up a separate email account for bounce handling. So in this case, we set up bounce test. And when an email bounces back, if the email server is set up right, it'll bounce back to that email address, not to the other ones, the reply to or the from. And AcyMailing will go out, log into that email account, get all those emails, and you can then, let's go over here, and you can configure your bounce handling. So you can have all these different rules that handle how it's handled and what happens to each email. So if you want to create a rule that handles specific ones, like on vacation, you want to see a vacation, but you don't want to see out of office, you can set up rules here to handle all that. You can send up vacations to certain people. When that happens, you can see some of these. You can unsubscribe the user, block it. You can just delete the message because nobody cares about it if it's one of those. It's just a vacation if you don't want to know about it. So it's all that kind of stuff. So that's all the very cool things you can handle. Basically everything that we've seen in any of the service providers out there that provide email marketing, this has it, and more so. Probably the only thing that this doesn't have is built-in bunch of different cool little templates, but in reality you only need 1 or 2 templates for your site, and then you just use it. So it's easier just to create your own templates. You can create it in any other thing, use your WYSIWYG editor or HTML and let it go, and then you've got all the advantages that you don't have in those emailing services, as in integrations with all your Joomla applications and your extensions, like your e-commerce, your social site, or registration, or that kind of stuff. So hope that's helpful. That's what we have for AcyMailing. Again, that's the enterprise version.